Alrighty, welcome in
Why
everyone
is
to the
he standing up?
PHNX Rising podcast. I want
up?
everyone to just look at this amazing shirt right here. Pretty cool. Take it to the max. Just want to say that. Put it out there. Here we go. And also, you have a nice shirt.
Doing?
Check out phnxlocker.com.
Yeah.
Again, just a nice little shirt there. Take it to
There's
the
a
max,
current
baby.
sale going on over on the locker. That probably sounded absolutely atrocious as you slammed that down.
Yeah,
so
it wasn't that
I'm sure
bad.
that was...
Producer Emma is absolutely
sure
speechless, but no, this shirt is cool. Also, yours is very nice. Check out the phnxlocker.com. We got an amazing sale going on, people. How's it going? How's it going? Again, PHNX Rising podcast. Appreciate everyone joining you. I have left you efficiently speechless. How
you
you
haven't
doing?
left me speechless.
Yes,
I'm
I
just
have.
sitting here wondering what on earth I'm doing.
No. On the real, it's been quite the weekend. We are trying to come down from it. Some of us, we're not going to name names, quite a lot of booze on the bus on the way back.
It's true.
PHNX __ Rising Twitter can confirm. But man, before
Llama.
Oh gosh. Oh no, man. Yeah, for those, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know, and what you know is that we got a lot of content this past weekend. Max at one point interviewed Dolly Llama. They actually took Dolly Llama, the Lights' mascot, which is an actual living llama, and took it out of its pen.
Yeah.
And Max held a mic to it.
I did.
Like up like this. And the llama did try at one point to look as though it was maybe going to take a bite out of the mic. But then once he pulled the mic away, the llama came for him. So you made a new friend.
Also, I met friends with Cash.
You did.
Yeah.
You got to ask Cash,
Friends,
the
lately.
soccer rocker, about what he thought about
I think
the old Andrew Carlton. And what did he do? What did he do, Max? When you said, what do you think about Andrew Carlton? Good play. What did he do?
He gave me a thumbs up.
He gave you a good thumbs up, didn't he? Yeah.
I also said I don't know about that, to which he was like, nah. Yeah. Producer Emma with the mic, yes.
Where's this llama interview?
It's coming.
Check
and
out
for anyone who's
PHNX
interested,
__ Rising.
I mean, that's true, but also bear in mind that we are planning. It's not going to come in this one coming up on Wednesday, but in the near future, probably the Tulsa away game. It will feature the kind of video of the weekend, and what happened is likely to feature on the pregame show ahead of the Tulsa.
Where can they find that
game.
pregame show?
They can find it on Arizona's Family Sports 30 minutes before kickoff.
Again, we will be putting that out on at PHNX __ Rising when that gets released. We're kind of already over the place, which makes sense from
given
this.
What happened on the
given
weekend.
what happened this weekend, there is the transition game there, baby. No, it was a bonkers match. Again, so much fun on the bus ride, going to and from, everywhere in between. A lot of shenanigans and whatnot.
Indeed. I mean, there were a lot of shenanigans in Vegas in general. Can we take a minute, actually, though, to appreciate, before we actually go into talking about the football match itself, Panos made a kind of a gentleman's agreement of sorts with Darius Formella, okay?
Yeah.
And they'd agreed before that game that if the other one scored, they were going to get the initials and number of that player tattooed on them. Can we shout out the fact that Panos posted at 4:24 a.m. on the Sunday morning a picture of him posing with Darius Formella's leg with the tattoo.
Well, it's both legs, but yes, the leg with the tattoo.
Both legs, yeah. And Panos is just there kind of grinning.
That's a meaty hamstring right there.
And so the tattoo happened. Panos is tweeting about it at 4 a.m. It's one of those kind of games, one of those kind of trips.
Yeah, sounds about right. That kind of sums it up. Crazy match. I also want to shout out everyone in the chat real quick. Damon Lama. Huge win this weekend. Absolutely. Devin, all thumbs up. Reese, classic messing up on the word transitions. That's pretty apparent right there. What a dork. Anyway, going back to the game this weekend, Rising win 3-2 against Vegas. Man, for those of you who are watching, and it was certainly felt when you're there in the stadium, Rising looked slow in the first half, and the fans were up for it. A lot of intensity in a way going on, but not quite translating really at all to the final product to really in much attacking sense.
Yeah, it was a struggle. That game. I mean, look, you see it in the first half, and the numbers will be overinflated a little bit, of course, because of that penalty. It creates a chance out of pretty much nothing. And yet at the same time, it was not a good performance. I think overall Vegas looked more threatening. Penalty aside, I think that Rising didn't really think they were going to score in that first half at all.
Yeah.
And then it's just moments of quality in the second half. That's what makes the difference. I mean, we actually look at the first half, right? For comparison's sake now, Rising have 5 shots, 1 on target. That 1 on target is going to be the penalty, isn't it? Vegas had 13 shots.
Shots.
Max didn't do shots.
But
you
no
didn't
comment.
do shots.
No.
But as you look at that, that's just poor. That's poor. You give up 13 shots and take 5 against Vegas, a last place Vegas team that are dead. They are dead men, okay? They are 21 points back at the moment on the playoffs. They are done.
Vegas in a box.
Okay, that team is their season's done. Yeah, they're not. Well,
Nah.
they're not going the way of San Diego Loyal in this case. But I mean, in terms of this season, it's in the exact same position, i.e., no future. Yeah. But yeah, it was poor. I mean, they woke up in the second half. We see actually much closer. 9 shots for Vegas, 7 for Rising. And Rising getting 6 shots off inside the box, which is that's a key stat really to look at there. And overall increase in the touches in the opposition box as well. It's up from 14 to up to 14 from just 7 in the first half. Those things are pretty critical. And overall, yeah, I mean that's better. I mean you look at it right. If you look at final third entries, Rising actually have more final third entries in the first half than they did in the second. But you're doubling the number of touches in the opposition box. That tells you when they're getting up there, they're actually doing something with it. Whereas in the first half, they just weren't. They weren't at all. It was poor. It was dire. And yet, at the same time, it ends up being the first Rising away win when trailing at halftime since 2019. 4th of August, 2019 against LA Galaxy 2.
Yeah, no, and to kind of further expand upon kind of what you just said a bit, looking at Stat Like You Reese with some stats here for us. Rising and Vegas both pretty even in terms of passing accuracy overall. In the opposition half, pretty similar, even in the final third. All kind of relatively similar. I think the difference was here that Vegas just created way more chances, double the chances that Rising had. And I think even if you're not looking at the stats, just the eye test really shows that I think Rising can have these moments where, especially against bad teams for whatever reason, they lull into we're going to get overly creative with it, trying to pass a team down, break them down, which is all fair and good, but you're doing it from your own defensive third. It doesn't make as much sense where sometimes, even if these teams do pack it in, or in Vegas' case, they have a pretty decent mid block they've been working with that sat pretty comfortably within the half field line as Rising was kind of dinking around the back. You kind of need every now and then some clinical home run balls in a way to kind of open up, unlock the defense. And Rising tried it for a bit. They just weren't coming on. The long balls to the corner were just not there. A couple runs maybe were made, kind of seen late, but I think that's something where this team kind of struggles against that, and that's where they've been inconsistent.
But it's been one of those things. I mean, it keeps coming up, right? And Juan says as much as well, that these teams come out and play differently lately. You see teams are adapting to Rising. They know what Rising are good at. They know what their strengths are, and you're seeing teams adapt in ways that are just different to what you would always see from that team otherwise.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of these teams always sit back quite in the way that they tend to do. But they did against Rising. And Lights did so. I mean, look, it's interesting to see, I think, what was going to come of this further down the line. Sac's actually a really interesting game for that in particular, because you're going to see a team now that is different in the sense of they're a favorite, really, going into that game.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams that Rising has played in back-to-back matches could really not be any more different from a, consistent standpoint. I know we're going to get into that in the next segment, but I mean, going off this match, and I'd be very remiss to just not take a moment, just admire the goals, man. My word. I mean, I know we talked a bit about it, and it was all kind of quick when we talked about it on Saturday night, but oh my word. I mean, Arteaga's goal. How many times do you try that? Just does not come off at all.
I'm telling the people now before we get into this, okay, that Arteaga's goal has been nominated for goal of the week. Now, this is one of those ones that in true style is done by a fan vote. What does that mean? It means that it's nonsense. But regardless, I'm looking at this fan vote and I'm seeing a goal that does not deserve to be in contention in the same way currently leading the way, and that is Oscar Jimenez from Louisville. Get on Twitter or various other forms where you can vote on the USL website, on their app. You got the USL app. You can vote on Instagram. Get out there and vote for it, because there's no way on earth Oscar Jimenez should be leading that with 61% of the vote versus Manuel Arteaga's goal, which only has 35%. It's just not that good a goal. Look, man, it's not that good a goal. It's an all right goal.
No.
That ain't a bicycle king. No.
Also, it's a spectacular bike. No, dude, it was a bicicleta. It was a golazo. It was a golazo. Come on.
He sets himself
on.
up.
Go rock the vote.
And then takes it.
Yes, Eric, right. Those goals were amazing. Absolutely. Especially the first one, which what we're talking about. Ben News Bluebird, Arteaga's has to be goal of the week. Go rock the vote. Check out at PHNX Rising Twitter. Yeah, at PHNX Rising FC, baby. Go check it out. Vote. Rock the vote. But yes, what a goal. I think it's something where we were watching. We had moved to the press box, or whatever you call that thing that Las Vegas Lights have. Certainly not a press box. But, you know,
you don't like Cashman Field. What are your thoughts? Go on. You had the Cashman Field experience with Phoenix Rising now. I want to know. This is it, right? We can break down the on-field stuff, all that. Great. What do you think, seriously, about the Cashman Field experience?
Hasn't changed a damn since Reno 5 years ago, man.
Explain to me.
Yeah,
it's gotten older.
It's gotten older, and I thought it was already old before. No, it's the Cashman Field experience is one where, kind of straight out of a book, right? You're taught like a comic book or a kid's book or something. You're talking. They have llamas. They have llama. They have a mascot riding a motorcycle. They have go-karts at half field. They have
go-kart seats. I saw we got that in the chat a few back on the post-game show.
They have these like kids-sized pools all throughout the sideline. They have the DJ and MC going mid-play. The press box legitimately, I don't think, has been renovated since the 70s, and I don't think this stadium was built till like the 80s. Like it is something very much experienced. But anyway, as we were watching,
I'll actually say this as well.
Please,
this is another thing here. It always intrigues me that there's kind of the talk about, well, he's got to do all the daft stuff because it brings people in. What he doesn't bother to do is actually provide even a particularly affordable family experience. You know how much this is intriguing? When I went and had a look at the concessions at the stadium. Just I do at some of these stadiums to get a sense for what they're doing. Chicken tenders, fries, and soda. Producer Emma, go on, give me a guess. How much do you think that would cost? Good one. And bear in mind, it's not exactly much. It's like a little basket of chicken tenders and fries at a Las Vegas Lights game.
$15.
15. It's 15 just for the chicken tenders and fries. The soda is another 5 on top. So yeah, there you go. $20 for that.
We're talking movie theater pricing, and that wasn't even a cinema. That was nothing. That was tough. I
think like all stadiums in general, like whether it's a soccer, basketball, whatever it may be, the prices are fucking crazy.
I don't disagree with you, but I think the big point is like
excessive.
It's not like you are paying for the ambiance or the team performance. They don't really have either of those.
Nothing says fun like the pitch side MC deciding to shout random stuff down there. Remember when they conceded the third goal as well, and they started playing "Don't Stop Believing," but they don't get to the point where that actual line kicks in before the game is kicked off again.
They didn't waste a second. There is no. For those of you who like, lots of like, hey, like pauses are okay. You don't have to have someone talking every single second. Las Vegas Lights is not for you. There is not a single second of silence or space.
What they do there, right, is they take the game and they strangle it. They literally take all the air out of it. There is no space to breathe. No space to breathe, right? The Mob Museum is just down the street, but you feel like you're being held hostage by the mob. Yes. And they are strangling and getting all the air out of it. There is no space to breathe at all in there. It's just a bad experience.
I have known Owain since 2018, 2019. And this man has been talking like so poorly on Las Vegas Lights since I've known him. He has hated this organization to the core since I've known this man.
Have you ever been there, Emma?
I have, and it's disgusting and it's gross, and I get it. I just think it's funny that it's been years and they still get you, buddy.
I get it, man. Though they are
an abomination against football.
That's a clip.
They are an abomination against football. The experience, everything, right? You know what will brighten the place up is if the llama decided to do what it did in that first season.
Oh, dear gosh.
Might actually brighten the place up a little bit.
That was a wonderful Cashman Field tangent. The only thing wonderful about that field is the tangent you
can
go on.
Reese, hang on. No, I want to answer Reese's question here. Did the DJ make any misogynistic remarks this year? Well done, actually, too. The DJ. Well, not the DJ, the guy with the PA. I didn't hear any this year. Well done. You crossed the low bar. There we go.
Yeah. Low bar. I mean, low bar. Still very poor performance, and that dude was annoying even on the penalty. But going back to the goals, wow, that was really quite a tangent. Going back to the goals, that first one, when we were in the press box, this is how it started. Press box, we were looking, and we kind of hesitated. You saw the goal ruffle a bit, the netting, but you're thinking, wait a second, did that go in? You see him Arteaga running around with the teammates. It's like, oh, that just happened. It's pretty epic. Pretty epic. Second goal, I mean, right, Gabby Torres with really determined run. Could have gotten, I don't know, kind of some shoving in the box a bit. Went to ground, but still made it happen. Gets it through. Danny Trejo with just a sweet, sweet touch. Very Tottenham-esque goal, if you will, for those of you who watched their 2-0 win over Bournemouth. But I digress. And the third...
Don't associate, right?
The third goal.
Max, don't do this.
My teams, my clubs. The third goal was Panos Armenakas with an absolute...
rocket.
Upper boot, baby. Top bins only. And that led to the Darius Formella tattoo. But all in all, just an exciting game.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Man, it was one where I know there were copious beverages consumed afterwards.
There were.
And there were some, on the way up to the bus as well. And,
a lot of wows on the bus.
Of course, got to shout out our friends at Four Peaks with the Burrs. Drinking the delicious Four Peaks, bus is feeling good, all that stuff. Really pretty wow feeling. Mr. Owen Evans, what was your favorite Four Peaks beer you consumed?
Wow.
Yeah,
I'll stick with the wow. It's nice. It's straightforward. It's easy to knock back quite a few on a bus, kind of. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, appreciate our friends at Four Peaks for giving us the celebration, of course. They didn't contribute to the win directly, but they did have a damn good time with the beers. Check out our friends at Four Peaks Four Peaks Brew, and at Four Peaks Pub. Oh, boy.
You'll remember them eventually.
Oh, boy. To check out everything they got going on. The A Street Pub is a phenomenal place to go. Always delicious beers, all that good stuff. And then, of course, they're at Four Peaks Brew. Nice stuff to follow there. On Instagram, check them out there. You must be 21 years or older to enjoy responsibly. You don't have to be 21 years or older to enjoy Circle K. We were heading up to Vegas, and we hit a point where there was not a single Circle K. Just not in the area. I thought.
And you know what? I thought I was going to lose it. Hold on. You know how there's not a single Circle K in the area?
How's that?
Gas was $6 a gallon.
Freaking true, man. Circle K has the cheap gas, and they're all throughout the valley, and they are throughout Arizona, but just that stretch to Vegas, they just don't like gas stations in general. There's nothing for miles. But when you do go to a Circle K, first off, you can locate them in the Circle K app. Super easy to find. Again, go to the map section of the app, download the Circle K app today. Of course, you already know. Look at the screen. Text PHNX to 31310. Again, get out your phones, twiddle those fingers, those digits, and text PHNX to 31310 for a buy one get one free Polar Pop. But here's the thing. They also have a new thing. Download the Circle K app and join their Inner Circle program. Because not only do you help us out and plus helping out our friends at Circle K, but even better, you get free stuff for it. Your first 5 fill-ups, that's right, 5 fill-ups, 25 cents off a gallon, baby. 25 cents off a gallon, plus you get, 5 free Polar Pops. Every 6 snack you get throughout the Inner Circle program is free. Just by signing up, you get free chips, free soda, free snacks, and literally it's completely free. It's always going to be free. Check out Circle K's Inner Circle Club. Again, check out the app, Circle K app. Boom.
Indeed.
Boom. But, we got a game to talk about.
Yeah, and we talked about. These guys keep us working. They don't give us any time off, We
talked a lot about Vegas, and again, it cannot be more of a contrast to Sacramento. That's to put it very lightly.
One of them's a football team, one of them's a circus.
Nice.
You look at Sacramento at the moment and think about where they are actually just in general. I mean, they're right up the top as they always are. They're a great team in a lot of ways. They often they're always in that conversation, aren't they? I mean, again, they won the league back in their inaugural season back in 2014. They don't really look back. They have the odd season where they're rough, but they if they're not in the conversation, it's weird. They also have, if you ever go on their website, have you ever heard of this? They got the little chat bots on the USL websites. Did you know that?
What the heck is that?
So they're on the Sacramento Republic website. They actually have it calls it Roro bots. Okay, it's Roro Lopez.
Yeah, I know, but why is that so detailed?
I don't know, but he's waving and there's like a Ferris wheel in the back. It's weird. It creeps you out, but
kind of creepy.
They're a very good team in a lot of ways, and I mean, you look at guys like Russell Cicerone, who's got 13 goals. I mean, they showed in the last game, but a lot of good players. And look, Max, I'm going to bring it up. You're going to hate me for this?
No, don't.
I'm going to bring it up.
No.
They played about a month ago, didn't they?
Oh, and I thought we said we weren't going to talk about it.
Yeah, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it again. That was poor.
I mean, that's putting it lightly.
So it is now about a month on from Rising losing 4 goals to 0 against Sacramento Republic.
Yeah. I mean, I think we came away from that match saying, could have been way worse. But also...
But it could have been, because they could have lost by 6 or 7 or 8 or 9.
It's something that you mentioned earlier that's just sad, as that was Kev Lambert's last game.
Yeah, it was. That was Kev Lambert's last game, was away to Sac Republic when they lose 4-0. I mean, that was a perfect example of a game when nothing goes right.
True.
And the thing is that from Rising's perspective, you can't afford to have a half like you had against Las Vegas in that last game, right? Because as you come out there, you give them those kind of opportunities, much like happened in Sacramento, they will pounce on that. That is a team that will not let you get away with it. Vegas do let you get away with it because Vegas are bad. But Sacramento are not. They're the complete opposite, and they will catch you out if you give them those kind of opportunities. Now, they struggled in midweek against an Orange County team that, by and large, defended pretty reasonably. And that's been kind of the key to a lot of Orange County's success this year. But OC only took 5 shots all game, and they scored 2 goals.
Yep.
Sacramento took 19 shots in that game.
Good thing Rising has a pretty good shot stopper.
Indeed. They got Rocco Rios Novo on hand. I don't know if he'll be in goal or not. I don't know if Patrick Rakowski will be in goal or not.
It's a fair question.
These Wednesday games tend to sometimes bring out some rotations that we may or may not want to see. I mean, Rakowski's, I'm not saying he's a bad goalkeeper, but with Rios Novo in the form that he's on and knowing that you don't... goalkeeper's not like a role like, a lot of other field players with the sheer amount of running they do that you worry about fatigue. That's not the case with a goalkeeper, surely. To me, I don't necessarily see the need to rotate in that position. What do you think, Max?
I don't think so. No, I think goalkeeper, barring an injury or unless there's some type of fatigue or something like that, I don't see where you need to rotate. But it kind of brings up the question. And it's not by no means am I even asking should Rising throw a match, something like that. But do you believe, like if you're head coach Juan Guerra, do you play a full strength team and let all of the gas out, exhaust your reserves against this match against Sacramento, or do you save it a bit for the weekend, knowing that's not as much of a high caliber opponent?
You can't do that in this league.
I'm asking the chat as well.
Let me look at it this way. If Rising are losing 2-0 at half time and you start asking questions about do you start making subs because you want to keep legs fresher for the weekend and you don't think that you're going to make your way back into that game, fine. But you cannot afford to give games up.
Agreed.
You can't. And this league is so weird, right? It is genuinely weird. And you can't turn around and presume that, well, RGV will be an easier game. I agree there. I don't necessarily want to see wholesale changes. 4 points out of 6. Look, when I came in, what did I say after RGV? 10 out of 15, which was legislating for 1 draw and 1 loss. And the loss I was predicting could be this upcoming one.
Sounds about right. Yep.
I understand losing at home to SAC, as long as they look like they're putting up a good fight and they haven't been kneecapped from the changes to the starting 11. But I do also think that I'd still take a draw, and
Sure. Would you?
In an ideal world, you want that draw.
Let me go off the bat. I think something that we noticed from last match, something that we are very encouraged by, is Rising really went out with 4 of their playmakers on offense all playing together, something that we've been yearning to see from the start. That is Manuel Arteaga, Danny Trejo, Panos Armenakas, and Darius Formella. How did you like that, and would you like to see any swaps?
I don't know. I mean, it didn't start off very well.
Nope.
I get the feeling part of it, though, is forced, isn't it? Because you don't have a Carlos Harvey available. And the hope, I'd imagine, is that he's back in time to be able to feature in the next game. But I can't give you a firm answer on whether he will be or won't be, on what kind of a state he'll be in anyway after travel. But it's a tough one. It's a tough one, isn't it? I don't know. I like having it as an option. I don't know if that's what I want to see this team come out with. I mean, bear in mind, again, there were changes made in the course of that game. It wasn't how they came out with necessarily. So I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I think it's something, the fact that we hadn't seen that before, all them starting together. I understand maybe it wasn't the hottest start, but I think someone like Vegas, right? Definitely a beatable team, but even still, they're rolling out this lineup for the first time where they're all together. Really, I'm even trying to think of sustained periods where all 4 of them were playing together, which probably, unless memory serves incorrectly, wasn't often, given Arteaga's suspension and the fact that Formella, has only been here a handful of weeks, only played in a couple games. I would love to see that combination again from the start, because I think it might be a slightly different story against Sacramento, knowing that you're at home, knowing that you have a couple more weeks that you've had to gel together, and now you have another game under your belt. I want to see that happen because those guys with their talents, while they all bring very diverse skill sets, having them all on the pitch at the same time very much excites me.
Yeah, I get that, but I also agree a little bit with Devin here about that, meaning they struggle sometimes in the center of the park. And again, like a team with like Sacramento, that's a risk. They'll know how to take advantage of that.
It's fair.
They're a good team. You can't concede that middle ground.
That's fair. Okay. I'm trying to think. What from this match, who do you look for to be someone that really can take advantage of the Sac's weaknesses, wherever they may be? But no, on the real, who do you think can have a big match?
Panos.
Okay, so you're not changing that then.
He's one of the people I always point to because I just know that the way that he creates chances, the way that he puts that together. I don't know. I mean, it's a tough one because it then gets to the question of sometimes is he connecting with the right people? Is it the finishing? Is it? I mean, and then you have games like IGV where he doesn't necessarily get what he is capable of doing. But then you also have games like the last one where I thought he looked all right when they finally switched on. I mean, you look at his stats from across the whole season; he's way up there in terms of chance creation. Yeah, and it's interesting though because I mean, as Eric is pointing out actually in the chat there, I mean, the team is better, I think, than some of the performances that we've seen, and Juan has admitted that. He said, I mean, we played the video after the game on Saturday, and it was I asked him what it's like to have that kind of quality in the team that you can just turn it on and score the goals that they did, and he said, well, it's great, you love to see it, but it's also painful to see because you wonder where that is the rest of the time. I think to Eric's question broadly on should they be doing better than they are, I think they should be.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a problem necessarily where they are in the table, but I do think that games like RGV away, they should be putting a better showing up. I think that games like Vegas away, you go back to the better late than never, but I mean, you need it earlier in that game. You can't afford to let teams hang around because it's not always going to actually break your way. And against a team like Vegas, I don't want to hear any excuse for why it wouldn't. Daft, awful stadium or not. But I don't know. There's a lot of things I'm waiting to see if they actually step up on still. Can do so consistently.
Yeah, I think the one actually real quick, Eric's point. So then is the coach the problem? I mean, Oakland seems to be doing better.
I think Oakland are doing better in part because the project. Yeah, there's still work going on there. I mean, projects take time.
Yeah.
I think that's a large part of it as well.
Agreed. I think the thing that a lot of Rising fans will be pointing to is Rising has had a pattern of, and this is not just limited to the last month or so, which if you guys look at how they've been doing on, an app or something like that, Rising has been alternating wins and losses for what seemingly last month and a half. But even if it's not quite that drastic of win, loss, they haven't had a sustained period where you can really look after, even call it like a month of very consistent results, positive results and or positive performances. And I think that's the issue. Maybe the bigger underlying issue is that regardless of the results, which we're now at the point of the season, we have to go after results. Mm-hmm. You're not trying to put the cart before the horse, but you want to make sure that this team is in fine form. If, knock on wood, they make playoffs, that they're going in with momentum and a hot streak.
Yeah. You know what? I think we're hitting on actually a good topic for our final section here, so I'm going to try and rein us back, I think, towards Sacramento and the one game at hand. And then we'll go back to talking big picture because I see another question came in the chat as well. We'll come to that one in a little bit. But let's wrap up Sacramento first, I think. Yeah?
Fair enough.
Okay, so score prediction. Max, let's go.
Listen, Phoenix Rising went to Sacramento midweek on a Wednesday, as Eric pointed out earlier. And they got beat 4-0. They got humiliated. It was a tough showing. And you hope for a team to bounce back after that. So what do I think is going to happen? After Rising play at home on Dollar Beer Night, they do 4-0 to us. 4-0 to the... No, I'm totally kidding. It's 1-1. 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I'm going with 2-0 draw.
Okay, yeah.
We're both going with draws.
Yeah, chat, let us know what you think as well. Listen, if you get a draw in this match, I think that's a very, very positive result.
Reese is confident.
2-1 to Rising,
2-2
draw. Okay. Listen, you get a win here. You're playing with house money. That's fantastic. But I think a team of this opposition, I know Rising's only lost twice at home, but you'll be happy with the draw. Be very happy with the draw. Go on, move to Saturday, keep it rolling.
Indeed.
Absolutely. You can keep it rolling with our friends at OG's Brands. The rumor has it, there were some on the party bus, and some people had a good time. Can confirm?
Max had a good time, apparently.
I'm sure naming names here. Yeah, no, I did have some OGs on the way up to Vegas. Absolutely phenomenal. Listen, for those of you guys who know Owain, he's kind of he's something. And so when you have to deal with him for, hours on end, take some OGs really helps to just relax and calm you just a bit. Because when you have this sort of energy,
Max.
No.
Max.
When you have this sort of energy for hours on end, the only thing that can really help you is our friends at OG's.
Llama.
Oh dear gosh. I had the minis, the indicas. It was absolutely phenomenal. Fantastic on the bus ride. Just mellowed me out. Really, really amazing stuff, especially for something where, just keeps you going, throughout the bus ride. Very nice time. Nice and portioned out. Never known about that. Check out our friends at OG's Brands. They actually have a wonderful promo going on now through August 31st, which is Thursday. You can save 25% off a bag of 100 milligrams, either their fruits or the creams. Absolutely. Can you put that? Yeah, good stuff. I was going to say Emma doesn't have the mic, but she was going, woo, just like that. You can save 25% off those bags when you go to the Flower Shop. So here's what you do. Go to theflowershopusa.com, add a bag of those 100 milligram OGs. Again, either the fruits or the creams. Use promo code PHNX. Again, promo code PHNX to save 25% off. You order it, you go to the dispensary, have a good time. And here we go again. Shout out our friends at OG's and the Flower Shop. Promo code PHNX. Get them out today. Also, shout out our friend. Must be 20 years or older to enjoy responsibly, of course. Shout out our friends at Valley Tap Room. Valley Tap Room, right? Trivia Tuesdays, the watch parties. We're talking about this darn Sac game. Do you know where we were when they lost 4-0? Well, you weren't there, but you know where the rest of us were?
I was in Sacramento.
Yes, I just said that. Do you know where the rest of us were?
You were at Valley Tap Room,
We were at Valley Tap Room, and while that result...
Rumor has it that Max Simpson will be in Valley Tap Room, and he might be buying beers tomorrow.
Wait, I did buy beers. I did buy those dang beers at Valley Tap Room. Yes, no, it was a tough showing for that match, but, Valley Tap Room kept us going a bit, uplifting the spirits, everything like that. They got good spirits as well. Check out our friends at Valley Tap Room on Instagram Valley Tap Room. And then also in person at the 202 and Gilbert.
Indeed. Well, you know what? I'm going to actually address something else that came up in the chat now. A little bit further up, and Devin mentioned about, what is it? Show a certain picture. It was we went out after the.
I don't know what
this
you're
is like Vegas trip now.
I don't know what you're talking about. No picture.
Well, no, I'm all about. We don't have the picture available.
That's what I'm saying.
To show
we don't have the picture.
We don't have the picture available to show it.
This all allegedly happened,
Devin. But we left the hotel at like midnight, and there was a Paw Patrol dog outside. Because kids who want to have pictures with Paw Patrol dogs, they're out on Fremont at midnight on a Saturday night.
Scary. Absolutely scary. Yeah.
Max wanted a picture with the Paw Patrol dog, but I told him no.
I did not.
He definitely did.
I'm not really a Paw Patrol guy. My niece and nephew are. Not for me.
I thought you were a big Paw Patrol guy, Max.
No, never seen it.
Never seen it. Oh.
No. Anyway,
producer Emma, what are your thoughts on Paw Patrol?
Gosh, we're doing a Paw Patrol segment. Chad, what are your thoughts on Paw Patrol?
I think that we should look at the standings.
Let's do that.
Why are we talking about Paw Patrol?
Because
I'm making Max really winding him up here by taking.
You
don't
wind me up, dude. I'm wound up, not winding up.
There's a Paw Patrol graphic on the graphic.
There's not. Wow. Well, producer Emma hijacked the show. Thank you for doing so. Puts up this nice standings graphic. Again, it does play into the larger picture of Rising, again, like I mentioned, being a bit, consistently going wins and loss. That has been consistent. Very consistently mid.
You're looking for the word mid.
Consistently mid, win, loss. It's a greater issue at hand that, this team just needs momentum for a sustained period of time heading into the playoff picture. They are soundly in 7th, as you can see, 4 points above 11th. And unless you're Vegas, everyone has a chance. Mathematically, Vegas technically does, but that's not going to happen. So then
they're 21 points back with a max of 29.
Someone said my name. Yes, and then you above.
Yeah, we said your name next to Vegas.
Yeah, and then looking at Rising ahead of the table, only 5 points separate them and 4th place. Of course, the Oakland Roots, which we mentioned earlier in the show.
So tight.
It is such a tight race, and so much can happen. And we were talking about this a bit before we started. Is Rising has to win their matches, but they also are at the point where they're going to be doing a little bit of alternative matchmaking. 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 Not that.
Max, where are you going with this?
No, they're going to be doing a little match watching.
No, they're going to be watching matches around them because there are teams around them that, again, when it's that tight, there's just so much that can come into play here. And look, Rising still have some of those teams around them to play. They've got El Paso still to play. They've got Colorado Springs to play.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have San Diego or Oakland to play, but that's by the by. They've got New Mexico still to play at home. They've got RGV to play on Saturday. All of these teams around them, they've still got to play. So, I mean, in a lot of ways, Rising can make it so they don't really have to care about watching other matches that much.
But that's if they handle their business.
If they handle their business. Now, I don't know.
That's my greater concern is that this team, they've done it at times, but not consistently.
No, they're not consistent this year. That's been a large problem. That's what worries me. I mean, I know further up in the chat, there was a question at one point from... It was a question from I've forgotten who it was.
What's their face?
From not quite that far up. Emma's looking. She's just scrolled to the very, very top.
Oh, and you're not helping her at all.
I'm not helping her at all. I forgot who the question was from. I've got to be honest. There we go. Fat kid. There we go. There we go. How long does one have before we start asking questions? The way I put it is this. It depends on the nature of the questions that you're asking. To me, I think there are valid questions to be asked if this team does poorly in terms of their final standing and their playoff performance as to whether they could or should have done better. I think that's perfectly valid. I think the serious questions of the is he the right fit for this club kind of questions are ones that only arisen to me this year if they fail to make the playoffs. I've been quite consistent with that, I think, from the start. I think that this is a start of a process, not the final spot on that process. Next year is when those pressures really start to ramp up a little bit more. But no, I still think there's space for friendly questioning. I still wouldn't say the aggressive.
I think that
until they're in a position where it looks like they may well miss those playoffs.
No, 100%. I think the interesting part about Rising season, right, is they are 7th in the table, and as we saw on the other graphic, it's very tight. They have had multiple 5-match unbeaten streaks during this season, and yet that's an interesting part is that they find themselves 7th, and I think there's a silver lining to that in that this team can very often, whether they are the better team, the worst team, or an even team, they can get a result. Now, granted, it's not always the win, and that is the issue of when can they begin to transform it to a team where even if they are not on their full stuff, they are able to edge out a win more often than not. That transition from draws to wins is something where I think they'll know that they're more closely linked to taking the next step. And that's kind of where we've seen a bit of hit and miss at times with the season.
Yeah. I mean, Edward puts it quite well, I think, in the chat. A lot of should have win games gone by, a lot of must-win games ahead.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, again, you just look at them. Miami away, Vegas at home, RGV away, games where points should have been picked up and they weren't. And if you get results in those games, you're in a completely different situation. I mean, if you look at the table now, actually, if Rising had won, I mean, I say they won all of those games, they're in 4th. They're 4 points behind the top.
Tough.
That's 3 games you could point to and say,
yeah.
They probably should have probably won at least 2 out of the 3.
I do see Fat Kid in the chat. Awesome. Hope Juan gets the time he needs. Thanks, guys. Love the show. Appreciate you. Fat Kid. Kamita, assuming.
I said this earlier. I know we were chatting earlier about this, Max, and we were speaking about who we think on the outside looking in could be dangerous. I actually think RGV are a team that could be dangerous.
That's maybe the one. I mean, here's the thing is like, I think we're talking about, right, it comes down to what you're thinking is if we're talking about who can rise and get bumped for in the playoffs to make a playoff spot, yeah, maybe again, other than RGV, I don't really see anyone the likes of, a Monterey Bay or something like that. Could they get hot? Sure, but it would really take an epic collapse for Rising. I think the tough part is, listen, you win and you get in. I've always said that, especially with this type of format. Rising is the type of team where they have a lot of talent. Maybe all it takes is one game in that scenario, and they get going. But if you're able to help it, you have a pretty good track record of playing at home, or at the very least playing against, not the top of the top teams. You don't want to just be limping into the playoffs. No. I think that's my thing is it's a fair question to ask, but I don't know if it's the right question.
You know what intrigues me, though, is those ones looking out, though, with RGV and why I say that I think they're the one that could potentially go on a run later. Mm-hmm. They haven't lost a game by multiple goals in close to 3 months. Okay?
Interesting. That's a stat right there.
The last time they lost a game by multiple goals was June 3rd. Against Orange County.
June 3rd against Orange County. Interesting.
They've lost since then, yeah, but they don't lose by multiple goals.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I'm even looking at Sac's last couple matches. They've won by multiple goals, and now I know we're shifting focus to Rising. But listen, it's going to be one. This can be a statement match. Even a draw will do well. But that's a fair question. That's the biggest question. Eric, will Max be doing a toilet bowl shot on Saturday with me for my birthday?
He'll do it in the parking lot after the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do it for it's home games. Home games I do. Home games I don't do the toilet bowl shot. Away games I do. But that'll have to wait till Thursday discussion. Got to talk about this match on Wednesday. Looking around the USL, are there any other permanent matches that Rising fans? Again, I hate saying have to be keeping an eye on, but are we playing a little bit of scoreboard watching with?
Well, yeah, because there are other games on Wednesday that are influential on this. RGV are playing on Wednesday. They are hosting San Antonio. That's a 5 o'clock kickoff. Mm-hmm. New Mexico are playing on Wednesday. They've got Vegas Lights. That is a 6 o'clock Arizona time kickoff. So both of those games, New Mexico and RGV, are both teams that are breathing right down Rising's neck.
Yep.
And New Mexico should pick up points in that game home against Vegas.
Big time.
They should. So that's points gained for them. You could be in a position where come the end of that day, you're actually looking at a New Mexico team that is level on points with Phoenix Rising. That's possible.
Yeah, we'll see. I know we already did the score predictions and everything like that. Listen, it's Dollar Beer Night. It's going to be a good time. Do you think Rising at least come out hot, or is it a bit of a slow start again?
I don't know. I actually think if Rising score early, they could well win that game. I genuinely think they could.
I agree.
Because the crowd gets behind you then, positivity from that, and it forces a team like Sac to open up a bit more.
Yeah.
Again, you score early, you can force another team to open up. Rising's troubles, I think, in the last 2 years have been that they have stopped scoring early, by and large, which means the opposition aren't opening up.
You ain't wrong there. Anything you want to leave the people with before we depart? Emma, if you're going to ask me about a certain thing, you're going to ask me too. I'm not done there yet. I'm not done yet.
Or a statement from Reese in the chat there about a need for predictions.
Nope, that's not it. That's not it.
On how many beers Max is buying on Wednesday.
Not happening.
Well, you know what? It's $1 beer night. And in the spirit of $1 beer night, Max, I think we need to tell people what you said on the bus coming back.
I didn't say anything on the bus.
You said that if people could track you down, you'd buy them beers.
Yeah, screw it. You track me down. Track me down on Wednesday. Find me in person. I'll buy you a beer. Sure. There you go.
Max is buying beers.
Boom. There you go.
Max is buying
Don't
beers.
get him started. No.
$1 beer night.
Yeah. You can check us out there, of course, as we're in at the stadium during pregame, all of that fun stuff. But I do want to shout out, you should become a diehard. Become a diehard. It's a pretty good time, right? You're wearing these sick Slithery Snake video or little shirt that Owen Evans is wearing right there, the little rattler, everything like that.
Poking me weirdly now, but yeah.
But also, it's a good time. You can check out this sick hat, everything like that. But it's the best time of the year to do so because all of our t-shirts and hats, it's $24. Shout out the PHNX locker. Look at those beautiful t-shirts. Listen, I do hear if you guys buy some t-shirts, there's only a few Phoenix Rising t-shirts left that we carry. Listen, I'm going to put this out there. I think we need another t-shirt design and maybe we get some feedback. What do we think?
Yeah, maybe it's about Max buying beers. I know that's a popular one. I mean,
so we did this for Cardinals where if you wore a PHNX Cardinals shirt to any event, we bought you a beer.
I mean, I like that too.
Well, Max just buys beers
So
for
I
people.
think that
how about Owen buys a beer?
On Wednesday and Saturday, if you're wearing a PHNX Rising shirt, a scarf, a PHNX hat, or anything PHNX, Owen and Max will buy you.
Owen, will you?
Max specifically.
No. This is a team effort.
Remember,
Owen.
the jingle is Max is buying beers.
Listen, yeah. Listen, I will be buying beers, but this is a team effort.
We'll see.
Oh, come on. This guy sucks. This guy stinks. Anyway, check out our PHNX locker. Fun time. All the sales. Also, shout out the diehards again. Be on the lookout on Twitter. Going to be doing a little special for the diehards out there. Shout out diehards again. You can get 20% off our merch, events, everything like that. Always a good time. Reese, what the hell's wrong with you? Oh, boy. Yeah, I know. Shaking your head. Yeah. Thank you guys for the diehards in the chat. Always a good time. Thank you everyone who joined us on a kind of weird wrap-up day. One of us is feeling a bit under the weather / hungover. Not going to name names. This guy.
Max. Max, he was having a great day.
Not at all. No, Damon the Sticker does not become a t-shirt. That is against brand standards 100%. You guys can check us out, as you already know, all the days, right? We're doing Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Saturday this week because of the midweek. Kind of weird, but usually the Tuesdays, Thursdays for those of you who aren't always with us. Appreciate you guys joining. Follow us on Twitter at PHNX__Rising because double the underscore.
Double the fun. And beers at Max is buying.
That's what I was unfortunately waiting for. You can follow me on Twitter at MaxDavidSimpson. You can follow Owen on Twitter at OJEvans18. You can follow Emma on Twitter at Emma Ann Clark. You can follow StatLackey Reese on Twitter at StatLackey Reese. Just kidding. It's Reese_11_. And yeah. Always going to have a good time. Hope to catch you guys on Wednesday when we're in person. If you find me, buy you a beer, all that stuff. Yeah. It's a beautiful game. Way more better. It's $1 beer nights, baby. $1 beers, y'all.